Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? Let me know if you can hear me now. Oh, hi. Hello. Did that work? Am I being heard? Okay. Sorry about that. Like, I actually mentioned this earlier, but apparently I didn't go to anybody. Every time I do this thing, like, I stream like once every 4 months. So every time I do it, it's like going back to square zero and doing my entire setup all over. So yeah, I'm just kind of messing around. I have no real plans. I'm just bored on a Saturday night, and I have, like, I just couldn't keep doing any more work, so I'm just doing this. I was messing with a game Dominic Terrason recommended, which was a robot named Fight, which was, I think it might still be on sale, but it was like $2, and it was pretty cool, because it's basically Super Metroid, but as a roguelike, and for $2, that's pretty neat. I don't have Saturday Shorts. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Saturday Shorts is. I'm not a smart man. Oh. So if anyone wants to see anything specific, let me know and I can see if I could load it up. I have no idea what level this is going to generate, so this is going to be fun. Yes, this is Super Mario Maker 2. And I have no idea what levels I'm going into because I'm going into endless play, so it might just be a nightmare. I feel like this is a trap. Yep. Okay, that level was pretty easy.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
I figured it out.
Let's go!
I do miss the old way that they did this in the Wii version, where you had 100 lives to get through some difficult levels, and at the end you got a permanent unlock of, oh god, is this an auto? Oh, it's an auto one. Alright, well we're just gonna watch the gameplay itself then. I have seen the Ludonarrative Dissonance level, however I have not actually played it. Yay, autoplay levels. I did nothing, and yet I win. How are the audio levels? Like, I don't know if the game's too quiet or if I'm too loud. I'm looking at the monitor, and it looks like I'm sufficiently louder than the game, but I don't know if the game's too quiet.
Let's go!
Mushrooms! Oh, it's Mario 2. Oh, it's Mario 2. Oh, I wish they had this as a game. Oh, shit, I was supposed to... Oops! It is Mario 2. Oh, I'm gonna have to like this level because it's so adorable. Oh, and it's the, oh, because you pull it up out of the ground. Okay, I like this. I'm lame. I know, I'm nerdy, but I dig it. This is great. Arby's won't support me because I'm not fancy enough. I'm wondering how they're gonna do the waterfall bit. Oh, they're just gonna, okay. Works. It's not really a waterfall, but I get it. Okay, we got, and then the thing here, yeah, okay. That's tricky. Oh, I wanna go in. Oh, is this the cave? Is that what this is? No, that's not in the first level. It is the first level, I guess, isn't it? You go in, you climb up, and then you fight Birdo. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It was Super Mario 2? Oh, here's okay, Birdo. Okay, I get it. Okay. Cute. I'm genuinely curious, though, like, why the tunnels? Was that just necessary as part of the structure? I mean, I suppose it is. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, I'm just messing around in Super Mario Maker. So if anyone wants to see a different game, I can pull up something else.
Let's go.
Oh, is that it? The pipes will actually take you to... Okay. So the pipes take you to a different actual map. What was the goal? I should have been paying attention without taking damage. Okay. I wish Mario Maker leaned more into its weird, its weird kid picks dynamic. Right? Like, cause it's got that stuff where, like, you add the moon to stuff to make it nighttime, and it has different effects on different levels, and like, it's not documented anywhere, so you sort of have to trial and error your way through what the different stuff does. I kinda almost wish there was more of that in the game. Because it's not really, yeah, I don't know what's up with the stutter. I know it's running at 30 FPS. I'm not... The game is running fine. Well, okay, so from what I see, the game is running on my TV at 60 FPS. On the Elgato capture that's running on my screen, it's running at 30, which annoys me, and it shouldn't be doing that, but I will investigate as to why later. I'm not doing footage capture. Hey, it's 1-1. I don't like the fish wings. Ah! Kill them with fire. Fire makes them go away. Jumping on them just makes them multiply. And I forgot that you can't fire more than 2 fireballs in Super Mario NES. That's the other weird thing about this game. How, like... Yes, you can just you can just more or less reskin everything. To be these different, like, you know, Super Mario 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario 1, and New Super Mario Brothers. But they do change mechanically. Like, you don't have a butt stomp as NES Mario. Thank you. Ah! Yeah, the ability to run backwards, it's curious that they don't limit that. Like, that's one of the things that made the original Super Mario Brothers actually really difficult. I wonder how... I mean, obviously it's endless, but I'm wondering, like... Is it just endless until I reach one of those nightmare gimmick levels that are just Masocore Kaizo levels that are designed to hurt me? Because I've got like 19 lives, and so far it's been like a walk in the park, but then eventually I know I'm gonna get those like nigh impossible... Ah, damn it. Super Mario Maker for 3D Mario is, I mean, we could go look at it. It's, fine? Like, I've never actually made, here, let me... I got Bowser Jr. What is Bowser Jr. H? Headpiece, oh. I don't like it. Do I go to... Oh. This. So we wanted to look at... How do I do this without a touchpad? I'm normally... There we go. Yeah, normally I haven't used the controller to do this yet, so... What's a cool theme? Guy is usually pretty mean, although I like all the blocks. Go with that. And none. We don't want to auto-scroll. Okay, now how do I turn this off? Alright, let's start in the midpoint, just because it's easier. I am not a fan, I'll be honest, of the, no, not the undo button. I'm not a fan of the controller-based inputs. I've not done this while streaming, because I've usually, like, I'm doing it in my hands, and the touchscreen makes this so much easier. Okay, there, that's how I get up here. I can do that. Okay. I can build blocks. Okay, so that's how you build blocks. L is a race. Alright, so there. That's how we get...
Let's go.
We built a jump. We're good Mario builders. As far, and I do love that it shows you the actual trajectory, so you can sort of plan how Mario jumps. Yeah, a mouse would be helpful. I don't know. I still have a weird relationship with this game, mostly just due to the fact that it is very... It's so mechanically driven, so... And I mean, obviously it's mechanically driven. Ah, I'm in the road, no. But I mean, like, obviously it's mechanically driven, it's Mario. But, like, it's hard to make a themed level. It's hard to make anything other than an experiment in Mario mechanics. It's entirely a formalist exercise in mechanic design. And that can be fun, but that's all you're ever going to be able to do. You're not going to be able to make your house. You're not going to be able to make your school. You're not going to be... Like, it's not... there's an entire essay I haven't written that I've been debating about whether I want to do on Mario Maker about, like, when I fell in love with level editors, it was the Duke Nukem 3D build engine. And, like, that was... I remember the summer that came out, and, like, the summer... I think it was, like, the summer of '96, and I just stayed in my room, which was kind of sad. I just stayed making, you know, Duke Nukem levels of things. I was way too young and should not have been playing Duke Nukem. But, yeah, see, now we have a butt stomp because we're not playing Super Mario 1. The only real difference here that I've seen, like, the only real mechanical changes are the white tubes and the, oh, how do I... No. The only real difference I've seen with Super Mario Maker... Button. I really do not know the buttons on this. No, not... I'm sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing. Super Mario Odyssey, they do have, if I can remember how to get to the stupid things at the top. Oh, not that button. Not that button.
Let's go.
Okay, it says space buttons to select. Fine, there we go. Where's the moon? Because you actually can get Super Mario Galaxy levels in this. Or is it just changing to the night theme? How do we get to the night theme? Maybe you have to unlock it. There's stuff you have to unlock too. I am not the world's best Super Mario Maker guy. Yeah, the real difference are the spike blocks and the clear pipes. And the whole thing is a lot more vertical because of all the cat mechanics. Oh, you meant super, like 3D, not Super Mario. Okay. Well, that makes more sense. Let's not do this because this is mean and I'd lose a lot. No, not this. I don't know. I think it would be cool to have a 3D Mario Maker. I don't know if the tools would really facilitate it. Like, every mass adoption maker tool I've ever seen has been 2D in some capacity, either in the sense that it's Little Big Planet, Super Mario Maker, some sort of 2D level editor, or it becomes something like the Doom engine or the Build engine where it's top-down and sort of 2.5D. Doing real 3D stuff is really tediously time-consuming and really difficult to not accidentally build shortcuts into and things like that. I think it would be cool. I think you would not have nearly the number of levels that you have in, like, Super Mario Maker. I do want to try Dreams. I haven't tried Dreams yet. I've heard good things about what the tool can do. I've seen cool things. Oh, is this... Oh, gee. Alright. We're doing this. Yay! I did it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the background's from Super Mario... or no, New Super Mario Brothers. I don't remember if the console version of Far Cry shipped with a level editor. I really don't.
Let's go.
I like this. This is cute. You know what this feels like? This feels a little bit like Zelda 2. I don't know where they're getting some of these textures, but... Castle and the... Nice. Carabushu! Give me a shoe. Okay, that's clever. That's mean, but clever. You know, if we really wanted to have fun, I could load up Picross and just make you all watch me play Picross. Watch as I solve numbers by adding things together.
Let's go.
I do love the SNES sprites. Like, I was in, Uh-oh. 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 Gimme. God's sake. There. It just gets real spammy when they do that. I don't... Do you really want me to load up Smash Brothers? I'm not very good at Smash Brothers. But I will.
Let's go.
I mean, the real reason I set this whole thing up is because I wanted to, like... I was talking about this on Spoiler Warning. I wanted to do a one-off episode on Mortal Kombat because we're covering Mortal Kombat this week, and I wanted to be able to show off what the game looks like in on the Switch, which is not good. It's pretty bad, like really bad. This may have been a mistake.
Oh no.
I should have gone in the pipe. In retrospect, there's an arrow pointing into it to tell me that that is what I'm supposed to do. But there was a ski lift. Oh, I get it. This is supposed. Okay, this is my problem. Like, this is the theming problem, where like they had the ski lift down at the bottom, and it's like the ski lift took us up, but because they had to switch levels. Also, I like this Peach snowman. They had to switch levels to make it so that we could actually have a full level. Yay! Okay, this is actually really cute. I like this a lot. Because it is like you start at a ski lodge, you go up, and you just ski down. And it's not quite an auto Mario level, but it's close, and it's cute. Can I backflip? No, I can't. Is this a Sonic that? It might be. There are lots of Sonic levels like this, so it would not surprise me at all if it was. Yay, more one-ups. Oh. Okay, I have to applaud that level's theming. That's adorable.
Oh yeah. Mario time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. That's a good level. Somebody beat it in 9 seconds? Alright, I don't want to think about that. I want to see what happens after I clear this map. Then we'll go play something else, but I'm genuinely curious what happens, because I haven't gotten this far before.
Oh no.
I was looking at chat, and then walked forward. Just 10 minutes of this, folks. I was joking.
Oh yeah. Mario time.
Yay! I'm now the best person to ever do this level, apparently. I'm liking it just because of that. Alright, so when they say endless, they meant endless. Oh, okay, let's play something else. Let me do this. 1 second. Oh, that one. We could play Bloodstained. Here, I wanted to show this game off because it's cool. In a future with robots, there's one robot. His name is Fight. And you fight him. Except you are him. This game might be a little bit too loud. So this is the one that I don't know how... I mentioned it earlier. I don't know how much I was recorded because I was... Yeah, this is much louder. Alright, this is what I was talking about earlier that is basically a roguelike Metroid. And you could tell just by looking at it, it is really going for the Metroid thing. A lot. Another thing that's weird about this game as a Metroid roguelike is that it really is sort of expecting a high level of familiarity with the genre. Because if you go, like, I've seen this room before, like, the maps are procedurally generated, but the rooms are prefab. And I've been in this room before, and for a starting room, it's really interesting, because you go this way, and it's a dead end. And you go over here, and this, oops, well, that spoils it, but this is a dead end. And the way you have to progress is to recognize that that broken texture can be damaged. And it's fascinating that, like, on an opening room, they're like, yeah, you know Metroid, right? You gotta do this. And, like, there's, like, no hand-holding at all. It's straight into, like, platforming over spikes to get upgrade. Like, this is the first room in the game, and I got a damage upgrade. But yeah, it is not messing around. Like, I mean, again, the room transitions, the general animation of the diagonal shots. All right, I can't go down there yet. I want that help. So right now this is on sale for $2. It's not a $2 game, but it's probably worth playing for $2. I'm enjoying it. Oh god. I didn't check to see if it was on Steam, so it is on Steam. That's good to know, because I'm enjoying it, but it is weird to play it on a Nintendo console because it is so clearly going for Metroid. You can't really see it, but like the floatiness of the controls is very SNES era Metroid. Ow! And it's interesting because it's got a time trial mode and some other stuff, so it's... Oh god. I don't know who competes in these sorts of games for time trials, but it's there. What is this? I haven't gotten this before. Yay! Now everything I shoot is a bomb. Okay. I don't mean who would speedrun a Metroid game, for the record. I meant more like... Part of what makes speedrunning Metroid interesting is the fact that in order to do it, you need to know all the shortcuts. In a proc-gen game like this, it's a little bit weirder. Like, genuine question that I don't know the answer to. Do people do things like try to speedrun Binding of Isaac? And I'm sure the answer has got to be yes, but like, the concept of that is weird to me. Because fundamentally, Binding of Isaac is such a randomized game, and you never know if you're going to get, you know, particularly fair or good run through versus something else. I just looked over at the chat and it's like 8 people saying yes. I knew the answer was yes. I didn't know it was going to be that resoundingly so. Alright, how do I... There we go. I don't even know what marked those 2 areas as different, but okay, sure. I guess this is a store where I can buy things from Robot Head. Okay, runs for specific seeds. That makes more sense. Let me get over there. Oh. So the one complaint I have playing this on the Switch, or my biggest complaint, I guess, it is very hard to shoot up. They have dedicated buttons for the diagonals, just like in Metroid, where you can use L and R to aim up and down. So if you're like running and would need to do platforming while aiming up-ish, it's fine. But if you need to aim straight up, you basically can't be moving, which is incredibly frustrating. Ow. Ow. That would be great if I... I'm actually not entirely certain where I have to go. Oh, okay. Love it. That's the other complaint I guess I would have is most of the low-level monsters feel very yay, I unlocked the thing. I guess that doesn't transfer between... Anyway, if this is boring, we can switch to something else. I thought it was kind of cool looking, the procedural Metroid aspect of it. Yeah, the bad guys, these low-level bad guys are obnoxious because they're just hard to hit and tiny. It's one of the things Metroid, at least Super Metroid, does pretty well. There's not too many obnoxious little trash mob guys that just take forever to kill. Also, I do kind of love how gross it is. Like, it's got kind of that Contra body horror-y thing going on with all the gore, which is definitely not something Metroid ever did. I got him. And I unlocked an auto turret for defeating the sluggard. Show me. Took 10 minutes. Okay, I can't get up there yet. Right shell, because I got to the cave. Cool. Between this and Bloodstained also, it's really surreal to have, like, knockoff spiritual successors all on my Switch. Alright, that's got boost. I can't go through there without boost. I need to go find boost, which is going to be somewhere, I hope. Oh, I hate this. Little grabby dudes. I love the sound effects. Just sound like someone going. Alright, boost. That's one problem solved. You know the other thing that it makes it feel really Metroid-y knockoff, in addition to just the general look and feel, is the whoosh, 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 whenever you run. Or jump, rather. Like that noise. Yay! My shots are even more cool. I don't like your hand. I don't like your hand. Ow. Oh, I'm dead. I'm gonna die. I died. Yeah. So, and that's that game. And if you played it again, if we go back to that level or that game, it starts a new game with a completely new thingy. Whatchamajigger, doohickey world. That's the word I'm looking for. Although this looks similar, but it's not the same one. These guys weren't there. Although the damage upgrade was there, admittedly. I'm not going to keep playing this for too much longer. I just want to get to a point where I can demonstrate that it is in fact a different world. Well, this is different because the other one went down. We didn't get up here. And then it comes... Hold on, the dog wants out. Okay. Yeah, this is a different room with different stuff. It's procedurally generated. Neat. Infinite replayability of Metroid shooty bits. So, and it gives you a seed. Let me see what else we can do real quick. 1 second. What's good? What's good? What is delicious? The problem is most of the Switch exclusives are, I mean, They're Switch exclusives. You know them. They're Nintendo games. Mostly. What? I don't know if that's a good streaming game. Alright, let's just... I'm having trouble. I'm having a crisis of conscience. What do you guys want to see played? Like... There's Mortal Kombat. There's... Cadence of Hyrule. There's Bloodstained, and you guys could get me unstuck because I'm stuck. And I don't know where to go. I could try to play Civilization 6 on the Switch, which is a difficult prospect because of the controller. I do not have Celeste on the Switch, unfortunately. I do have The End Is Nigh if you just want to watch me die over and over again in a platformer. But, I don't know if that sounds like a good time. That just sounds like frustration incarnate for everybody. What I really want to play eventually, and probably not on stream, is I picked up a game called We the Revolution, where you're a judge in the French Revolution, and you have to, like, it's, like, weird. Yeah, I'm really struggling because like most of these are most of these are either titles that are not exclusive to the Switch or are things everyone knows like Mario. All right, let's just do Mortal I was going to say let's do Mortal Kombat. But there's an update for it. So probably not that. All right, let's try the. Okay, let's do the friend. Let's do We the Revolution. Let's try it. It's a lot of reading. Is the reason I don't know if it's a good streaming game, but we'll give it a shot. Here we go. There's nothing. There's no audio. So hi, it's the controller I'm using. Do a new profile. Already we're off to a great start. For some reason, the Justice Hammer, the gavel, is more weighty than a marble head. Symbolism. Justice is blind and decapitated.
Father.
Father Klabater.
I am here.
Oh.
Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could.
Meanwhile, in France.
Why did you disown me?
I might have to turn this up.
I have your blood in my veins.
Well, thank you.
How could you?
Thank you, Ian. I don't know what's going on.
Do I mean nothing to you?
I mean, obviously we're opening in media res in the Revolution, and
Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
we, period, the Revolution. Oh, the dot's supposed to be a head. Okay, I get it. I'm a little slow on the uptake. It's a guillotine. Prologue. There's a courthouse. Walk in. It's funny. We're eating the flag or puking on it or something. Okay, so here's where the game kind of lost me when I was trying to play it like late one night after I downloaded it. Because now it's all text and now it's all reading and lawyer stuff. So bear with me, we're all going to work together to figure out what the heck this game's about. So here's Raymond Devoyer? I never took French. I'm going to butcher the crap out of a bunch of these pronunciations. Remind me next time that I want to stop. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rot gut. Remind me before I drink it. We're disgracing Themis. We're disgracing Themis. Is someone coming? And it's my wife and son. This was bound to happen. I told you. Papa, you said we would go. You promised. Papa has a lot of... Okay, so it's not my son, it's his son. Okay. This is why you don't download and play games at 2 in the morning. His kid, not me. I'm the judge. Yeah, a lot of heavy glasses. You promised me. I can't anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mama is angry because... Quiet. Today, your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them. But, well, our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them, but, well, you were fighting for justice. At the inn, damn you, you bloody drunk. Mother. Okay. So, documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Press the A button to display their contents. Events. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Notebook. Review detailed information about the current events, actions, and characters. Verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. Options. Change the game options. Hierarchy. Review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. Intrigues. Intrigues are complex conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's like an invasion mechanic or if that's another political player, like single player, other person in the game, like not another human player. Influence points. Influence points are the main currency in the game. Use them wisely. Notifications. Global modifiers. Some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in the notebook. Okay, so this is where the game lost me. It was 2 a.m. This seemed like a cool game. I downloaded it, and then it threw all of this on me, and I fell asleep. I was out. I couldn't. It's too much to take in at 2 in the morning. So a child, either our child or the guy on the left's child, I'm still not exactly clear. I think it's the guy on the left's child now, having watched this now, but we will see. We're going to ask the kid a question. Okay, I can't ask a question yet. Gather information and influence gather information and influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. But I don't have any questions for the defendant yet because I have not done To ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the Inquiry linking menu. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you've asked a question. So it's swaying the jury, which I guess the jury is in this point his dad and some other guy. So let's find out about this fight. Let's note our notes here. To Judge Alexis Fidel, I do not know how to pronounce French names. We have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I'm sure we can deal with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. All right, we've got a threatening letter from our neighbor. And I can drag this letter? No? Yeah, I can drag it, but I can't. I don't really know what to do. Is there any wait. We'll deal with that later. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Relations, reputation. Oh my. This game has a lot of mechanics. Reputation impacts everything in the world of the game. Factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, the fervor in the sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. Influence points. You have a set amount per day. Okay, so not much going on there. Have we earned the ability to ask a question? No, not yet. The linking screen. How do we get to the linking screen? So is this it? Are we just ready to... I am not doing a French accent. Absolutely not. First of all, it would just be offensive. Second of all, I'm no good at it. Oh, that's not the right button. Also not the right button. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else I can do in this early prologue. I have a note here that says the kids got in a fight, and I have the ability to choose a verdict. Punishment. Make the most important decision. Condemn the defendant or deem them not guilty. Signature. Sign my verdict. First of all, I just want to point out that this is a really messed up way to parent a child. Second of all, what do y'all think? Like, is the kid guilty? I mean, we have a letter. The kid's got a chipped tooth. Like, is there a way to highlight some of that stuff? I'd like to be able to ask the kid. Like, you see how certain things are highlighted there? He's got, like, innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. Antoine is red, front tooth is red, innocent is red, and an assault is red. And I feel like there's got to be a way to... Okay, here's how you get to the linking game. Okay. Okay. While linking lines of inquiry and categories, you can only make a number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the system will become locked. Well, that's terrifying. Traps. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are irrelevant. Chip tooth. Injured ants. So what do you think? What are the lines that we're trying to connect here? And we only have... There are up to 4 questions that can be revealed if we line these things up appropriately. Like if we guess chip tooth and victim... What do we think? I'm genuinely not sure what to hook up with what. If we look at the document again, the younger one, Antoine, now is a chipped tooth. Innocent Child's Play turned into an assault. Is there a way to link Innocent Child's Play with assault? Like if I ask about this, let's just try this. Oh, did that work? Did we get a question? Oh. Okay, so what exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you, Steve. They were yelling that you are, well, I told them that it's not true, and they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard's son. So it is our kid, I guess. Okay, so that got us a question. Who started the fight? I can tell you who ended it. I think it was me. I kicked the one on the left and then wanted to get the one on the right, but they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Right, and then chip tooth victim? Is that all of them? Did I get all the questions? Yay, I did it. How did your play turn into a fight? Our neighbors, Antoine and Jean... Okay, here's the thing. Here's a fun thing that I brought up on Spoiler Warning. For a long time, I pronounced Jean Grey as Jean Grey because of Jean-Luc Picard. So, the French pronunciation is Jean, correct? Right? Like, I'm not crazy. Our neighbors, Anton and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards, and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard whom they would, you know... No, I don't know. What did kids do to drunkards? Good lord. What did guards do to drunkards? You were fighting both of them at once? I had to. Did you really break Antoine's tooth? Frederick is just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. Alright, we've asked all of the questions for the defendant. How do we, the people of YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Internet, how do we feel? Do we weigh the case as guilty or not guilty? Should he have fought them? They were calling his dad names, his dad being us, and he started a fight, 2 against 1. He lost, but he chipped one of their tooths. Yes, I believe it is our child. It is our child because we are a drunkard who goes fighting for the Free France at night, and our wife doesn't like it, but also we drink way too much while espousing liberty, I guess. It's still kind of vague to me. Fair enough. Guilty it is. Unfortunately, you should not start fights regardless of the reason. Okay, cool. We have passed our first test and passed the verdict. Those children are so small, they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it is Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. Look, if I am that prolific of a drunk that it's echoing through the streets, I'm actually kind of impressed. He's no longer fearing your anger. He knows that your threats are empty. Frederick is only starting to learn the truth about his father from the streets. Alright, maybe we don't let the kid go to the streets. How about that? How about we do some parenting? It's the 1800s. We do that. I was unaware that Mathilda had such a temper. Mathilda? Is that... I feel like I'm not pronouncing that right. As was I. We will wait outside, as always. This game is wild. I don't think this game is that wild. Is it? Like, we haven't even gotten to the revolution stuff. Like, I'm more interested, like, once all those systems that we saw really kick in. Like, okay, hold on. Cutscene.
Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets.
Whole families took to the streets to kill the bourgeoisie. Is the weird intercut message I'm getting from this.
We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Liberté. It doesn't say liberté me, it says liberté tout me. Save yourselves. I should watch that movie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, now we got another new mechanic. We haven't even turned on all the others, and we've got another new one. The expected sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. Okay. So this is an actual court case. So this is for realsies. A real court case. One of the local merchants, Guy Deneux, went to the National Guard station near the halls. With a raised voice, he stated that the owner of a neighboring stall had purposely poured wood tar into his barrel of herrings. That's a big... You don't do that. Don't do that. That's a big no-no in the herring industry. For this supposed crime, Deneux was demanded a proper punishment. Soldiers went to the halls and established that the herrings did indeed tasted awful. Since there was no evidence of the crime, they did not take any action. A few hours later, the guards returned to the halls. This time, it was the formerly accused Jean Corbis, who called for them, and there was a plethora of evidence on site. The clearest being Deneux himself. I cannot do this fucking pronunciation. French is hard. Smashing his neighbor's stall with a long wooden pole in front of witnesses. Long wooden pole. So he went... So the neighboring stall had... He claimed his neighbor poured wood tar on his crap, and then he came back and beat the crap out of the other guy's stall with a wooden pole. Oh, and it literally expects me to do this drag mechanic too. The furious merchant was shaking his fist and yelling, "Where were you when this scoundrel stole my place near the entrance?" The guards did not stop to ask for details, but disarmed the vigorous merchant and put him in jail. While drawing up the report, one of the officers found an old denunciation that had been written by Deneux 2 years ago. So this guy has had it out with his neighbor. His food neighbor. What is a report? Okay, this is just reviewing the... Okay. Yeah, don't pour wood tar into this stuff. Let's see if we can ask some questions. Your name? Deneux. Fresh fish since 1772. At a vandal since yesterday? I'm not proud of what I did, but enough is enough. And then Jean Corbus is in the side there. Really? Like when 6 months ago you stole 8 francs from my revenue? Some urchin took that from your pockets while you were... Silence! You shall not speak until questioned. Okay, how do I get the jury to tell me their verdict? Like, I'm not supposed to go against the jury's verdict because they'll get angry at me. Wait, counter-revolutionary propaganda? Where was that in the notes? I don't see... Did anyone else remember that? I don't care about Robespierre. I didn't do anything about the gossip. That's fine. So... Cool, wait. Okay. How do I spend my influence points? Also, how do I get... I can't... Do I turn to them for the verdict? Okay, so... If I acquit him, the revolutionaries... gain... So I'm trying to figure out... So, this is the problem with video game abstraction, right? Like... Based on my decision, either the common folk or the revolutionaries will have their bars raised or lowered. They're both sitting right now a little under halfway. My question is, what does that mean? My position with them? Like, is this game to survive the French Revolution such that I do not piss off the angry crowds or the revolutionaries and survive? Anyway, the jury has not reached a verdict yet. Ask more questions. So I guess I have to ask questions. Means I have to link this stuff up. Wooden pole, instrument of crime. Okay, that was pretty easy. I'm gonna ask about that. What products does Citizen Corby sell? Fruit and vegetables. And you sell fish. Straight from Yaport and Petits Dalles. French is hard. I see. Then why did one of you come to the halls with wood tar and the other with a wooden pole? Citizen? I don't remember. That stick must have been lying near the stall. Corby, however, clearly planned his actions. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, they're quitting they're acquitting him. Slightly. Okay, what else we got? We got... And then we could ask about... Okay, so if I open these back up... There is no... So... They have those little icons there next to all four of the markers. So there's the wood tar, the wooden pole, the near the entrance, and the old denunciation. I'm wondering if some of these others are just there to be able to influence, like I can just ask, and did you have any counter-revolutionary propaganda, in order to maybe sway the jury towards a specific outcome such that I don't lose my head. Which is kind of an interesting idea. But the old denunciation, and let's go with offender's personality. It would appear that your conflict has continued for some time now. It all started when that scoundrel placed his stall where mine should be, next to the entrance. It wasn't your place. You took it after old Choquette. Choquette. Silence. And you have not been able to reach an agreement ever since? Now that I think of it, I may have started even earlier. Jean once refused to pay a red mullet taken by his wife. My whole family fell ill because of that rotten carcass. You should be happy I didn't. Must I repeat myself? Be quiet, or you both will be in more trouble than you are already. Oh, now they want to send him to prison. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying watching the jury waffle based on how they behave on these questions. This is fun. This is a cute game. I'm kind of digging this. Try old denunciation and offender's personality. All right, let's try that. Oh, I can't. I guess you can only use each one once. So I have counter-revolutionary propaganda. And that unlocked a thing. Oh. Citizen Corby, come closer. We'll get to that one in a second. So I guess you can only use each one once, and they're starting very easy because this is like the second thing. We have found your denunciation of Citizen Corby. Why did you write it? He did it because I started selling sprats. Shut up already, Monsieur le Juge. I just wanted to help the city. Every stallholder pays for their place in the halls. Corby should pay too. You liar and crook. Don't you remember hiding from the royal collector at the butcher's? Silence. I was trying to avoid royal taxes. You only started after the beginning of the revolution. Be quiet, both of you. And now they want to acquit him. Citizen Corby, come here. Okay, so what do I want to ask? They're both locked. Do you really dispute the new order? It's slander made up by a man who trades old flounders. Is that a no? Of course it is. I'm a merchant, not a politician. Oh. Why did you have wood tar with you that day? I sell fruit, but my suppliers sometimes buy wood tar because it repels pests. And why did you pour it into Citizen Genio's barrel? I did nothing of the sort. He probably poured it in I did nothing of the sort. He probably poured it in himself as to denounce me again. Liar. Calm down. Yeah, this one-man show isn't really working, I know. So, here's a question. Why do we have a jury if I get to decide the ultimate outcome? Anyway, the revolutionaries aren't going to like me for this, but I feel like, I mean, you can't go busting up another guy's stall with a pole just because you don't like the fact that you both were dodging taxes. I mean, this is a messed up situation, and we're in the middle of a lot of troubling times as it is. Don't go screwing up people's fruit stands. I don't think that's I think we can all agree on that. We're sending him to prison. It seems that partisans will have to start buying fish. Partisans. It seems that Parisians will have to start buying fish elsewhere. Citizen Denu, I sentence you to prison for vandalism. Better warn the guards that they won't have an easy life. I do not believe the people will be happy with such a severe penalty. Well, you know, I mean... Now I go home. Is this a home section? What is this? Jacques Louis David. May I remind you that you promised to join me? I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers. I cannot read. This prose is weirdly structured for me. Though it does not favor our spouses. There's subtext there. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should also know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. My kid's beating up other kids. He's acting out. We just went out and saw a dude get hanged, and that was effed up. Bringing a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That's not a strong argument. My name is Jacques-Louis David. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You are a sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. Alright, what do we do? Do we go gambling with our friend? Do we go home? Our kid's acting out. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're gonna beat up Antoine some more, and Antoine's gonna keep making fun of my kid. I've got a reputation as an alcoholic and a gambler. I, I also feel like maybe the streets aren't the safest place right now. I'm gonna go home, especially since I, as the player, never made a promise to go out with this dude. I'm going home. We'll see what consequence that has at some point. Okay, I like this, because I'm sure if I had chosen, that chair wouldn't be empty, but you would have this really sad picture of my family. Okay, that's kind of cool. They like flip it around one way or the other, depending on your choice. That's nice. I like that. Late evening, the judge's house. What? Do you not want to berate me like you always do? Good lord, see a marriage counselor, you two. This is not a healthy relationship. I'm glad you're home. Are you aware that Frederick sometimes imagines you as a deep-sea sailor? Deep-sea sailor? I don't think they had deep-sea sailors in the 1800s. He dreams that you visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. But he would rather have you by his side, on land. We all want that. I don't want to watch the storm blow your lifeboat away and bury it beneath the waves. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer. Dark clouds already hang over the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once, and the waves will take you to a place you wish you've never set foot on. Wow, she not only is very prescient with her thoughts, but like, she is aware of what's gonna happen in France. A place without us. Your family loves you, but we won't find you in the darkness that has already begun to reach for you. Okay, so I got... Okay, relations with the family. You have to choose an action to see its description. Family actions. Again, I'm enjoying this game, but for a narrative-driven game, it is extraordinarily mechanic-heavy. Like, there's an at-home section where you have to decide how to spend time with your family and get your family reputation up, versus all of the mechanics about juggling the various aspects of being a judge. Your relationship with the bourgeois versus the people. There's just a lot going on. And I do genuinely think this is a cool game, but also there's just a lot of game here. There's just a lot going on. Anyway, family actions. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of the day. Choose an action from the left. Each action will affect the other members of the family as well as their attitude towards you. Each character's attitude can provide you with or deprive you of certain bonuses, e.g., reputation or relations with factions. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. So he's a prop. So if we do political debate, my wife don't care. I'm gonna anger grandfather, I guess. I don't know if that's my grandfather. I guess that's my dad. But my first son thinks it's cool. It is time for the grown men to talk about the revolution's achievements. It should be an interesting exchange. Or we could playtime with the children. Spend your evening and energy on carefree playtime with your sons. Your wife's needs can wait. Paragraphs and codes. Bernard's musical interests notwithstanding, he needs to learn some perspective skills, and law and art in its own right. Law can be an art in its own right. I don't know who Bernard is. I don't know. Oh, it's Okay, so I guess Grandpa is very, very pro-revolution, or pro-revolution, anti-revolution, because if we do a political debate, my son and I get along better, but my dad doesn't like us as much. But if we push our son to study law, because we're judges, and that's what you do, Mom doesn't like it, and my dad thinks it's great, and my son doesn't like it because he's being forced to study. And then evening with grandfather, sit down with your father and listen to stories of a bygone age, and, my wife doesn't care, but my sons hate me if I make him listen to Grandpa. Again, and it's just an interesting little setup here. I'm gonna do some playtime with the children. All right, my youngest son likes me, so everyone gets a bonus. Yay! Will the stream be uploaded somewhere? I can upload it to YouTube. I tend to upload my streams to YouTube, but they tend to go in a stream playlist that is otherwise unlisted videos, just because I know people don't like watching streams and everyone gets real mad at me. So I'm terrified of uploading streams directly, because no one ever watches them and people unsubscribe. So I keep the streams there, but unlisted in a streams playlist. I can link it. Anyway, today the people of Paris commemorate Jacques-Guillaume Samanieu, mayor of... I'm not even going to try that one. He was lynched... Oh my god. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolize the unity of our society and the hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Good luck with that. Let us make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again. King Louis the 16th? Cool. Simoniou was a good... So this is my dad, I guess. Simoniou was a good, loyal officer. Those bastards lynched him for observing the law. Will you join me at the march? Dad, I can't, Dad. I can't. I mean, it's the French Revolution. They lynched him. I don't really want to be seen in public with the, you know, bougies. Like, I'm gonna not do that. Hold on. You guys want a link? I'll do that right now. One sec. Buttons. Oh, buttons. Yeah,
I was like,
OBS.
I was briefly concerned.
I don't know what that's going to link you to, but that's some list of the streams. Also, I have to say I kind of dig the art style of this game, the really rough polygonal look. I am more interested in the living, even though I agree that Simoniou's death was horrible. I wonder why the king has taken the trouble to show up. Louis the 16th marching arm in arm with the people of Paris? That is unexpected. Yeah, well, he's Captain Bougie. King Louis! Continue, please. I am merely an observer. Don't change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he is guided by justice or by... entertainment, as some would say. Oh no! Now I got the king breathing down my neck about wanting me to be bougie. Ooh, this is making me stressed. Okay, so what is this court case? The defendant is Olivier Mugler. I don't know how to pronounce Mugler in a French accent. A 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Cool, this guy sounds neat. Last month, he was commissioned by the owners of a Parisian glassworks, Jean Rude, Louis Roux, and Ferdinand Salon, Salin, I can't do French names, to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables, presumably as gifts for their wives. The craftsman praised his latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrialists' houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer to Paris, Hector Vian. The thief from Orleans was... I don't know how to pronounce New Orleans in like American English. Like, is it New Orleans? Is it New Orleans? Who knows? So I really don't know how to pronounce the French Orleans. Was caught in the act and was shot by Ferdinand Salon. Wow. An expensive Turgot map of Paris with the houses of the recently robbed industrialists marked on it was found on the deceased's. Surprisingly, Salin had given Mugler an identical map as advance payment. This deposit was in addition to the agreed remuneration from all employers. Like, the one thing I don't like is having to manually drag these. Further interesting information came from the owner of the Ginger Margot Inn. She recalled that on the night preceding the burglary, the locksmith met there with a man she didn't recognize. Based on her description, we were able to identify him as the aforementioned Hector Vian. The men allegedly engaged in an evening of drinking sponsored by Mugler. Evidence: map of Paris found on Hector Vian. Okay, so let me process this. Nolans? I don't think it's Nolans. Orléans? Is it just Orléans? Okay, so Olivier Mugler, dude makes locks that are unbreakable. Sells it to 3 industrialists. And then this new guy shows up. Who... Okay, so... The new guy shows up and was shot by Ferdinand Salon, which is one of the guys that was... whose houses was robbed that were the fancy industrialists. A map was found on the guy that was shot that was the same as the one given to Mugler. And also it looks like that the guy that was a thief was engaged in an evening of drinking sponsored by Mugler. At the Ginger Margot Inn. So that's all of that. Robbing the bourgeoisie is no crime. According to the case file, you are citizen Olivier Mugler. Is that correct? Indeed it is, Monsieur le Juge. May I have a request? I would like to sit down. I'm an old man, you see. Basic respect for the judiciary requires that you remain standing. Do the names Salin, Rude, and Rue mean anything to you? Why are you so determined to harass an old man? They sound like the names of my debtors. Debtors? They are the victims of activities you conducted. You mean locksmithing? Alright, we're gonna... Oh my god, that's a lot of questions. Oh boy. Alright, who wants to play the game of what we're gonna tie with what? Yeah, is the game available for the PC? I honestly haven't looked. I saw this on Steam, on the Switch, and it was relatively cheap, and I was looking for something new to play, and it certainly is interesting, if nothing else, and it looked pretty. I don't know if it is available for... Hi, Mortal Kombat's done. Wow, we would have been waiting that long. So what should we do? The map of Paris is definitely evidence. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, that's good. So that's burned. So you have to... Okay, so it's 1-to-1. So it's not... You're just picking... Like, it's not... There's not a permutation of every single thing to every single other thing. It's like marks on the map would tie to something specific. So if I do lot construction, course of events. There we go. It is on PC. Okay, cool. Is it already out? I genuinely haven't looked. Series of burglaries, course of events. Yeah, I just did that. So I think I just did that. You were commissioned by the victims to make chest locks. Who installed them? It was me, naturally, and all in agreement with the contract. My job was to prepare and install the locks, and the employer was only to come and see whether the work was completed, and pay, of course. Was the installation carried out at your workshop? No, on site, at the client's property. None of those idlers bothered to deliver the trunks to my workshop, so I had to strain my old legs. Does that mean you knew the addresses of the victims? How else would I get there? Blindfolded and on a wagon? You recognize this map? No, I don't recall ever seeing it before. Ferdinand Salen claims he gave you this map as evidence as advance payment for your services. Ugh. He claims what? That wicked wretch of a second-rate merchant. He gave me a scrap of paper as payment for making 3 locks, and says it's supposed to be worth more than the 3,000 francs he owes me? An honest laborer is being judged while frauds remain at large. Silence. So does this map belong to you? It doesn't. So where is the map that you received from Citizen Salin? I lost it, but it wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I surely won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. You'd better make a note of that Olivier Mugler. Olivier Mugler demands remuneration. Remuneration? Is that right? I feel like that's not even the right word. From Rude, Rue, and Salen. Isn't it remuneration? Am I crazy, or am I just having a stroke at 2 a.m.? Like, remuneration? It's remuneration, right? Anyway. Alright, well, the jury's not buying it. Series of burglaries plus course... Oh, yeah, series of burglaries plus course of events. Yeah, that worked. Thank you. Did you tell Hector Vian how to open the locks in the victim's trunks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. If he sold the secret of my locks, then my business would be over. Word spread fast among thieves. What do we got left? We got... Did you give Hector Vian the map with the victims' houses marked on it? I gave nothing to Achilles, Hector, or any other Greek. Call in the witness, citizen Jean Rude. Oh, we're doing this. Okay. Jean Rude, in the flesh. You will not speak unless called upon. Naturally, of course. What went missing during the burglary? My house was the first one to be robbed, and in my case, it was mostly valuables. At Rue's house, he will not say it himself, and I don't want to go to prison. It was the letters that he exchanged over the years with King Louis. Damn monarchist! Salen did not lose a thing. He shot that vermin in the act. That's what he said. What happened to the items he had stolen? That still remains unknown. According to Salen, Hector had nothing with him. Ferdinand suspects he had hidden the other valuables somewhere. He hid the other items before robbing the last house? Strange. Advance payment in the form of a map, its disappearance, the murder of a burglar, and lack of payment for services. It all makes for a rather strange story. A suspicious one, too. I do not. What are you mumbling? If I say something, will I be free? He knows something! I'm sorry, I just keep picturing the noise coming from the crowds as being the guy from the Christmas episode of BoJack Horseman that's like, kiss her! Way in the back. And it just amuses me. Anyway, please testify what you know immediately. That map was Salen's idea. He told the thief about the advance payment we gave the locksmith and proposed that Hector steal it. And he did? Indeed, but then the bastard robbed us. Later, we were forced by Salen not to pay the locksmith because he sent the thief after us, and that's when it all went down the drain. That's the bourgeoisie for you! He fooled them all in one fell swoop! It sounds like Citizen Salen had everything planned. However, there is no evidence to support the claim. Perhaps it is Citizen Rude that is plotting against his partner and wants to frame him. And Vian is dead, so he'll not be able to shed any light on this. If I was younger, I'd have given Salen a drubbing. That pig, good-for-nothing lying bastard. Please restrain yourself. The testimony of a witness is still not evidence. Neither of Citizen Salen's guilt nor of your innocence. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're a master locksmith. How much did you charge for your service? 3,000 francs. Tidy sum, that is. If you were a master locksmith, you'd charge that much too. That is a quite substantial fee. Indeed, that's how much it costs to have high-quality locks made by a master with nearly 50 years of experience, and those bastards never paid me a single franc. The victims did not pay you the agreed amount? Not a franc. I'd beat the money right out of them, but I'm too old for that. Marks on the map. Evidence? Drunken evening. Oh, that. Oops, I done goofed there. Master locksmith. Okay. Yeah, this defendant is absolutely. I'm absolutely writing him off. Like I don't. Even the jury is currently leaning acquitting, and that feeds into what the crowd is saying, where they want to take on the bourgeoisie. I'm wondering if this is going to be a multi-part story where next we have to go after Salen and whoever else was actually involved in the crimes. All right. Did you know Hector Vian before? This is the first time I'd heard the name. That is interesting, as you were seen draining several bottles of wine together at the Ginger Margot Inn. Is that a crime? No, but the question is, why are you denying it now? Was your drinking spree just a deception for discussing the burglary? Nobody I had a drink with introduced themselves as Hector. I didn't plan any heist with a Hector, Victor, or Hugo. Cute. I'm a locksmith and I earn good money from it. Burglaries are for vagrants without a job. Rumor has it that you were one of the best locksmiths in Paris. I should deny it for modesty's sake, but I won't. That cannot be true, though, as the random thief from Orleans was able to easily break open your locks. Well, then he must have been one of the best thieves in Orleans. Let's be serious, Monsieur le Juge. Every lock can be picked with the right talents, even my locks. Were you the one who marked the addresses of the 3 victims on the map? I didn't mark anything. The houses of your clients are marked on the map. I didn't show who marked them, or I don't know who marked them. Maybe you should ask the person you found the map on. Maybe the court made the marks and has no memory of doing so. I just love the absurd crap coming from the gallery. Do you not think there are too many coincidences in your story? You obtain the map, but lose it, and then it is found on the thief who has robbed your clients? I know nothing of coincidences, I only make locks. Alright, Oh no. Like, I want to acquit him, but I'm trying to figure out why the revolutionaries are going to be upset about this. Like, I feel like if I keep doing the right thing, the revolutionaries are going to hang me, and I'm wondering... Or not hang me, guillotine me. And I'm curious, really curious, how that works out. Alright, but I have to acquit this man. I don't see a crime here. The verdict for citizen Olivier Mugler is not guilty. Lead the defendant away. Bravo, Mugler! Away with the bourgeoisie! To be honest, this does bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had them robbed. There is balance there. So I'm still not sure why the revolutionaries are mad at that. I'm very confused by all of this. Look, an authentic map by Turgot. It would be a pity if it rotted in a safe deposit box. We cannot do that. These are court deposits. Well, Mathilda did tell me long ago to take care of my study at home. There you go. I know that someone who can remove these marks without damaging the map. I guess I'm just taking the map for myself. Cool, cool.
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors. Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility. This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
One of us, one of us. Will such solemn demonstrations change anything? Next time a desperate soul decides to stone a public officer for observing the law, will they remember their presence at this march? Will a starving man feed himself on the memories of Jacques-Guillaume Simenon, mayor of... I'm not going to pronounce that. I would rather not to be nearby to witness that. Yay, home time. Jacques-Louis David, your son is rather good with the viola. He's both talented and enthusiastic. I would prefer that he was as enthusiastic about the law books I gave him. Maybe his destiny is to become an artist, not a lawyer. Mother likes to hear me playing, and there is nothing more boring than law. See, he would rather let his career rely on the humors of the people. There are many ways to rescue France. Believe me, our country desperately needs something to ennoble it. The power is in the hands of simple, illiterate people. Let him rescue their souls with music. That's better than boring laws and clauses. See what you're doing? You're spoiling my child. I do not have my own children to spoil, so I am focusing on yours. Speaking of which... Oh, no, no, no. I don't know what that's about, but... Take our sons to a pro-revolution demonstration. Let them see real life up close. My wife's gonna get mad at pretty much everything I do except this one. What is this one? You take your family for an evening stroll around Paris. It will let your father stretch his old bones a little. Okay, it'll let my father stretch his own bones a little, but he doesn't like it. My relationship with him will sour as a result. I think I'm going to go with that one for now. Oh, he really didn't like that. He didn't like that a lot.
That is our new symbol of freedom. You can still smell the fresh wood.
Do you feel free looking at it?
Individuals like us do not need symbols, but France does. Did you hear the news of the day? People are running around like headless chickens and yelling about Louis and his entourage escaping Paris.
So, we will not be enjoying the aroma of fresh wood for long.
Monuments like that are not installed solely for the purpose of punishing thieves or lesser aristocrats.
Do you think it wants to taste royal blood?
Louis' flight was a stupid move, yet it seems it was planned. One of us will sacrifice him. That is, if they catch him.
Is that why Louis visited us at the court? To manipulate us?
Maybe deep in his heart he felt what the builders of the guillotine did. That someone has to be exposed as a traitor, even if there is none.
This is a weird game. How do I... Oh, that's not the right button. How do I... Okay, well, I guess we have to get to the gameplay. Welcome, Citizen Fidel. My name is Antoine Quentin Fauquier de Tinville. I'm not even going to try that anymore. I am the public prosecutor that has been assigned to assist at every tribunal trial starting from today. I should warn you that I am uncompromising, although I hope that we quickly find common ground. In happier news, the construction of the guillotine has been finished. I like saying that sentence. We may begin using it today. Yes, we've seen it. The king is gone. Treason. Anyone with information about his whereabouts should immediately disclose it to the authorities. Robespierre. So I guess that basically is just announcing to us that we now have the option to execute people should we want. And this kid in the members only jacket is the first person we may have the opportunity to execute. How do I... Alright, let's do this song and dance. Only two? Okay. Jean Hébert, the famous street urchin who killed the governor of the Bastille, Delaunay, and carried his head on a pike, Jesus, has recently been detained. After the triumph of the revolution, he reached the nadir of his life. Though many people still consider him a hero, they do not care that the Parisian archives are filled with complaints about thefts, robberies, and assaults on women. The current case is a... Oh god, Hébert is accused of raping 16-year-old Elodie de Pontalba. The charges were brought by the victim's father, Baron Thomas de Pontalba. It is widely known that de Pontalba was a relative and friend of Governor de Luni, so he has a reason to fabricate this. The crime allegedly took place in the tenement belonging to the victim's family. John was detained by people working outside when trying to escape the building. Elodie gave a written statement saying that the incident took place on the holiday, and John used the absence of the Baron and most of the servants to break into the tenement. Once he was inside, he entered The incident was witnessed by Anne Michel, Elodie's governess. It was she who alarmed the workers about the disturbing noises coming from her charge's room. A number of witnesses felt obliged to inform us that Anne Michel is known for her psychotic jealousy and numerous romances with the people of France. Wow, okay. I feel like that was not necessary. Anne Michel's testimony. Usually in the mornings, Miss Elodie and I read. However, the chef had that day off, so I was preparing tea. Then I heard screaming. I ran to her room, but stopped when I heard a male voice. I was scared and asked for help. The results of the medical examination... I don't really want to read this. They're bringing in Jean. Oh, he's got a much smaller audience. We're with you, Jean. Please introduce yourself. Jean Hébert, the conqueror of the Bastille and vanquisher of the tyrant de Lune, the hero of all Parisians. Jean Hébert, you were accused of raping Miss Elodie de whatever. Baron of daughter Thomas de Pontalba, do you plead guilty? I don't plead anything. That bourgeoisie and her counter-revolutionary father are filthy liars. We need to bear in mind the possibility of criminal collusion in the charges. That's right, those rich swines love their machinations. The evidence speaks against you. Did that do what I wanted? That didn't do what I wanted. Damn it. Anyway, I'm not sure. It's 1 in the morning, and I don't know if I really want to dig in, or it's almost 2 in the morning. I don't know if I really want to dig into a rape case at 2 in the morning. I think I might call. Yeah, I didn't want to take a picture. I want to go play something else for a little bit. Unless anyone is really call it a night? Alright, I'll call it a night. Anyway, this has been random Switch stuff. I might stream some more tomorrow if I'm bored, because it's kind of a quiet weekend. But it probably won't be Switch stuff. It'll probably be weird PC games, because that's the other thing I do. And I really, again, I was just testing this to make sure it worked for Mortal Kombat, which we really wanted to see real quick how badly this game looks. If anyone has been watching the spoiler warning season, this might shock you how not good the Switch version looks versus what we were seeing earlier. So yeah, I'll call it. I'll just load this up and show you how. I love Mortal Kombat 11. It is a technically impressive feat that they got it operating at all on this console. It's not a good idea to buy this version. Also, the always online crap kind of negates the whole point of the Switch. Anyway, yeah, We the People, or We the Revolution, it's interesting. It's a little overly heavy, I think, and really systems heavy for what is otherwise a story-driven game, but it's interesting. The XP Questman stuff is bad, but also it's expected, and oops. I'm not a big fan of Ubisoft banning that stuff, but whatever. No. Do this real quick. So first of all, you can clearly see we've got kind of a lower resolution version of all the FMV cutscenes, but these look fine. This is not the problem. The FMV cutscenes are not the problem. Once it loads, we'll see the problem.
Come on, Dad. You really have to go?
Well, you've got your duty, Commander, and I got mine.
Starring in yet another Ninja Mime sequel.
You're a dead ringer for your mother.
I'll kick your ass on her behalf, Cabal.
Fight.
I have not played this in a while. Like, it's impressive that it runs at all. I cannot remember for the life of me how to play Cassie. It's a bunch of back forwards, and I can't remember what back forward. There we go. I missed. But yeah, like if you compare the footage of this versus what it looks like on other systems, it's the hair in particular is bad. It's also I guess it also benefits from the fact that like this is running in this is running in a docked mode. I usually run this game in non-docked mode. There we go. And that makes it even lower resolution.
You lose as fast as you run.
Yes, it also isn't quite running at 60 FPS.
Jackie,
All in all, like, Mortal
She bailed.
Kombat 11 is pretty
Getting help,
great,
I'm
but
sure.
this is not
General,
a way
how
to
we
run
doing?
it.
Need 10 minutes.
Yes, it is worse
The support
non-dock.
columns are further apart than expected.
Oops. If you go look at my way back in the history of my Twitter, you can find some pictures of it. The most egregious example, though, and I'm going to try to get Josh to capture some of this in the game. I don't know if anyone's played it, but if you've played Mortal Kombat, Conquer? I don't even remember where it is. The crypt. No, not the towers. Back, damn you. The crypt. This looks bad. Like, maybe it looks better on the console or in dock mode, but the amount of chopping it down to get it to even run has been. Like, Doom on the Switch is okay, right? Like, it doesn't quite run at 60 FPS, but the fact that it's there at all is a sort of a technical engineering miracle. I don't know if Mortal Kombat 11 quite actually works the way that Doom 2016 does on the Switch. So, yeah, here's more of what we're talking about. I don't know how that is looking on the stream, but that hair is dithered to crap. The texture resolution of pretty much everything is muddy. We're clearly running at 30 FPS here with intense fog to make it. Like, yeah. Do I have the thing to get his head? Witcher 3 does also look really bad in terms of, like, clearly cutting it down. Oh, don't do that. The other problem with the crypt is that, like, so much of this is bad stuff. Like, I'm trying to find one that's money-based so I can open it without feeling too bad. Like, here. What is this? God, that frame rate chop. I got a katana taunt. So if I play katana and I wanted to taunt, now I have one. It actually looks less bad. Looking over on my monitor, it actually looks less bad on the PC monitor because it's upsampling it and automatically blurring it, so the hard edges aren't as hard, I think, on what the stream is streaming versus what I'm actually seeing. Like, I'm gonna take a picture and I will upload that. Like, it is pretty jank. Anyway, I'm probably going to do a little spoiler warning episode on this anyway, so I don't want to do too much of this. But, this is bad. Especially if I'll load it up on the PC. Like, I'll do this whenever we do that episode. I'll also load it up on the PC for comparison's sake. Just so you can see the difference. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for tonight. We played a lot of Wii the Revolution and a little bit of Mario Maker. Wii the Revolution is cool. A Robot Named Fight is pretty cool, which is also on sale for $2 on the Switch if you have a Switch. So Robot Named Fight, if that looked interesting to you, it was on sale for $2. Wii the Revolution is apparently on Steam, which is neat. Kind of a weird detective game meets story-driven mode. God, the lava just pops in. Look at that. Look at that. And you can see it in the main game, like in the like primary consoles. You can see it from afar, and here it just pops in. Anyway, sorry, I'm just shocked at how this looks. So yeah, I may or may not stream tomorrow. We'll find out. But thanks for stopping by, and I'm gonna upload this to that thing what we talked about, the secret playlist thingy. So, all right, I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.